And we're back. What's up, everyone? Um, just realised it's almost 4 o'clock, so I do have a feeling my dad's probably gonna rock up at the house anytime soon. So let's try and make it a quick one, I guess. So today, I'm gonna talk about books. So I feel like during COVID, I didn't really read much. But for some reason, the last year or so, I have definitely seen an increase in my, how do I say it? I've just seen myself read a lot more books, basically. So what I'm going to say is that I think, and to be fair, the books I've read have mainly been around just self-development and productivity books. Just because I think, for me personally, again, everyone's different, but I think that I do like reading books that are more about how I can improve as a person. And in terms of fiction books, I'd rather just watch a movie about it, you know? So, yeah, when I read books, it's solely to like just extract information so I can improve my life in some way, which has been good. I do feel like reading books has helped, and I've read quite a few books. I'm not going to lie to you, I have read quite a lot, and it's a fun activity. When I wasn't busy, I would just read, and it was good. What I will say is, I have realised that there definitely is a trend regarding reading the most amount of books you can in a year. You see some videos on YouTube about people who've read 200 books in 365 days, and I don't know if that's the right approach. I feel like, if you are reading fiction books, that's probably justifiable because you might genuinely just love it so much. But in terms of non-fiction books, right, our brains are not a sponge. Like, I've read quite a few of these non-fiction books, and in terms of the volume I've managed to actually retain and understand, it's probably quite minimal. But for me, it's those small little gems, that you kind of pick up along the way. And I find that if you try to go about reading tons of books in a year, it is just a bit of a waste of time. Once you finish a book, if you ask yourself the question, what have I learned in this time? You're probably going to be able to pick up 1 or 2 points. Or maybe that's just me. But I do feel like reading you're not cool. It doesn't make you any smarter if you read 100 books in 1 year. It just means you have more time to yourself, I guess. So in terms of that, and again, this guy Naval, I think I've talked about him quite a few times, but Naval Ravikant, he said something that was quite cool, and I actually did use this technique quite a few times. He says, when he reads books, is about just picking up the knowledge, right? Like, he even says that if he gets a book, he won't just read the whole book. He will read through it, not read, but he will like look through it quickly, and he will pick out chapters that he wants to read. And it's kind of like, if you think about studying for an exam, eventually you might actually go through the whole book, but if you're like midway through your studies, you're going to try and read through the chapter and find the chapter that will help you in this certain time. So you might, if I'm studying maths, if I'm doing some algebra homework, I'll go to the algebra chapter, right? And that's for me, right? I think with books, I'm trying to read more about just trying to find what I want to know. So there's this one book I'm reading, I finished it off, is called What the Most Successful People Do Before Breakfast. Long name, by Laura something. Actually, it's here by Laura Vanderkam, and it's a good book. But there's some bits that was prevalent from the contents page that was about, oh yeah, if you got kids, then this is what you should do. I haven't got kids, so I just skipped it. There's no point reading 50 whatever pages worth of stuff that is just not going to be applicable to you. So I just skipped it. And I think that's fine. I think that's pretty justifiable. another quote that Naval, I do need to get his book ASAP, but one thing he said that was just mind blowing was he says, he's also about the whole not reading tons of books. So he said, I'd rather read, one or two of the best books and read it 100+ times so I understand every single concept than reading however many books and not understanding as much. So it's really about just reading your favorite book over and over again, because sometimes you do that with TV shows, movies. We rewatch it, right? And I think that's fine. So recently I actually went a bit abnormal, and I got a book that wasn't anything to do with non-fiction or fiction. It was a biography book. It's called We Were Dreamers by Simu Liu, the Marvel actor. And yeah, I'm just I read one chapter and I got busy with work, but it was good. So I do definitely want to broaden my scope on what I want to read, because I do feel again, there's a lot of overlap with these books I've read. So in terms of productivity books and well-being books, a lot of the time it's just the same kind of stuff, right? Just said differently. You look at things meditation books, same concept, is about breathing in, breathing out, and listening to your breath, and weird stuff like that. All of these other meditation apps, they all do the same thing. It's just maybe small little things they do differently, and that's what I'm just trying to. I think that's what's the same with books. So yeah, that's a bit of a short little commentary, I guess. Let me know your thoughts. This is actually a video I would like to know your thoughts. Tell me what kind of books you read, any book tips you have. Oh, that's also another thing, Audible books. I've got a few Audible books. I've tried it. Honestly, I've only finished 2 of them, and it was okay. But it sounds weird, but I do feel like the person you have who's reading the book is pretty important. If you don't like the voice of the narrator, then it's probably not going to be your cup of tea. But again, I did only listen to Audible whilst I was falling asleep, so that's probably why. But yeah, short little commentary. I swear I uploaded a video yesterday, so boom, little another video for you lot. This is making it more of a thing. I want to upload more because it's fun. And yeah, so I'm gonna go back and do some work. So peace, everyone.